Imagine standing in your own bedroom, holding 2 tickets to a show you bought for your anniversary, only to have your wife laugh in your face. I asked Bella out for a romantic night. She didn't just say no, she mocked me. She looked me in the eye and said, "I'm not in the mood, Arthur. Why don't you try my sister instead?" She thought it was a cruel joke. She thought she was humiliating me. But she had no idea her sister, Chloe, was listening downstairs. I walked downstairs, crushed, ready to throw the tickets in the bin. But Chloe was there, and she didn't look pitying. She looked ready. She picked up those tickets, smiled a smile I had never seen before, and whispered, "If she's offering, who am I to refuse?" That night didn't just save my anniversary. It started a war. If you've ever been taken for granted in a relationship, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what happens next isn't just revenge, it's justice. Drop a like if you think Bella deserves what's coming to her. When we came home late that night, Bella was waiting at the top of the stairs, furious. She screamed. She threatened to kick us out. But the real shock came 3 days later. I came home early from work and found Bella dressed up for a girls' night. Except she wasn't going out with the girls. Chloe showed me a text message on Bella's iPad that changed everything. My wife wasn't just cruel, she was living a double life. She thought she could cheat on me, mock me, and then take half my money in the divorce. She walked into that courtroom with a smug smile. But she forgot one thing. I had installed a security camera in the hallway, and what that camera recorded the night she brought her lover home destroyed her life in exactly 5 minutes. This is the story of how I traded a toxic wife for the love of my life.
The rain was hammering against the window pane of our semi-detached house in Surrey, matching the gray mood that had settled over my marriage months ago. I stood in the doorway of the master bedroom, holding 2 tickets to the theater in London's West End. It was our 5th anniversary. I had pulled every string to get these seats, front row for the show Bella had been talking about for weeks. "Bella?" I asked softly. She was sitting at her vanity, applying night cream, her reflection staring back at me with bored, tired eyes. She didn't turn around. "What is it now, Arthur?" she sighed, unscrewing a jar of expensive moisturizer. I got us tickets for tonight. Les Miserables, I said, trying to inject some excitement into my voice. "I thought we could catch the train into Waterloo, have a nice dinner at that French bistro on the South Bank, maybe stay the night at a hotel." Bella finally turned. She looked at the tickets in my hand, then up at my face, and let out a short, cruel laugh. "Tonight? Arthur, look at the weather. It's pouring. And honestly, I'm exhausted. I've had a hell of a week at the agency." "But it's our anniversary," I pressed, feeling that familiar sting of rejection. "We haven't had a night out in 6 months." She stood up, tightening the silk belt of her dressing gown. "And whose fault is that? You're always working late at the firm, or too tired, or just present." She walked past me towards the bed, pulling the duvet back. "I'm not going anywhere tonight. I'm not in the mood for the train, the rain, or the romance." I stood there, the tickets crumpling slightly in my grip. "So that's it. We sleep?" Bella climbed into bed and picked up her book. Then she looked over the top of the pages, her eyes glinting with a strange mix of annoyance and mockery. "Oh, stop looking like a kicked puppy, Arthur. If you're so desperate for female company and a night out, why don't you ask Chloe? She's downstairs watching telly. She's single, desperate, and actually likes your boring stories." She laughed again. A cold sound. "Better try my sister instead. She'd probably jump at the chance." My blood ran cold. Chloe, Bella's younger sister, had been staying with us for a few weeks while her flat in Clapham was being renovated. She was the opposite of Bella, kind, soft-spoken, and appreciative. But Bella used her as a punchline. "That's not funny, Bella," I said quietly. "It wasn't a joke," she murmured, turning a page. "Go on, leave me alone." I turned and walked out, closing the door softly behind me. My heart was pounding with humiliation. I walked down the stairs to the living room, intending to throw the tickets in the bin. Chloe was there, sitting on the sofa with a mug of tea, reading under the soft glow of a lamp. She looked up as I entered, her eyes immediately finding the crushed tickets in my hand. "She said no?" Chloe asked. Her voice wasn't mocking, it was gentle. "Worse," I muttered, tossing the tickets onto the coffee table. "She told me to take you instead, said I should try her sister because she's not in the mood." I expected Chloe to be offended. I expected her to be angry at Bella on my behalf. But she didn't flinch. She set her mug down slowly, stood up, and walked over to where I was standing. She picked up the tickets, smoothed them out with her delicate fingers, and then looked up at me. A small, enigmatic smile played on her lips. "Well," Chloe whispered, stepping closer until I could smell the vanilla scent of her shampoo, "if she's offering, who am I to refuse? I've always wanted to see that show." I stared at her, stunned. "Chloe, she was mocking us." "I know," Chloe said, her eyes locking onto mine with an intensity I had never seen before. "But maybe it's time we stopped letting her decide what's a joke and what's real. I'll get changed. Give me 10 minutes." As Chloe walked up the stairs, past Bella's room to get ready, I stood there frozen in the hallway. I thought Bella's comment would end the night. I had no idea it was about to start a war. And the way Chloe had smiled at me, it wasn't the smile of a sister-in-law. It was the smile of a woman who had been waiting for this chance. Author's note: if you've ever felt undervalued in a relationship, hit that subscribe button. You need to see how Arthur turns the tables.
10 minutes later, Chloe descended the stairs. I had only ever seen her in oversized jumpers and jeans since she moved in. But tonight was different. She was wearing a deep emerald green dress that hugged her figure in a way that felt both elegant and dangerous. She had applied a touch of red lipstick, and her hair cascaded in loose waves over her shoulders. "Ready?" she asked, her voice steady. I swallowed hard, grabbing my coat. "You look incredible, Chloe." "Let's not waste the tickets, Arthur," she smiled, linking her arm through mine. We took the train from Woking to Waterloo. The journey, usually filled with my anxiety about Bella's moods, felt strangely light. Chloe asked me about my work as an architect, questions Bella never bothered to ask. She listened. She laughed at my dry jokes. By the time we reached the South Bank, the rain had stopped, leaving the London pavement glistening under the city lights. Dinner was at the bistro I had booked. When the maitre d' asked, "A table for Mr. and Mrs. Hastings," I opened my mouth to correct him, but Chloe squeezed my arm. "Yes," she said smoothly, "that's us." We sat by the window overlooking the Thames. The wine flowed, and so did the conversation. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was walking on eggshells. I felt seen. "You know," Chloe said, twirling her wine glass, "Bella has never understood you. She sees your kindness as weakness. She thinks because you don't shout, you don't feel." "And what do you see?" I asked, suddenly feeling vulnerable. She leaned across the table, her hand brushing against mine, her thumb tracing my jawline. "She doesn't deserve you, Bella. You know that, don't you?" Before I could answer, the landing light upstairs flicked on. "Well, well," Bella's voice dripped from the top of the stairs like poison. We sprang apart. Bella was standing there, looking disheveled and furious, staring down at us. "So, you actually took her? I thought you had more dignity, Arthur. Taking my charity case sister out on my anniversary date?" You told me to, I said, my voice surprisingly steady. You said you weren't in the mood. It was sarcasm, you idiot, Bella snapped. She turned her glare on Chloe, and look at you, dressed up in my old dress, playing pretend. Did you enjoy my leftovers, Chloe? Chloe didn't back down this time. She straightened her spine, her green dress catching the light. He's not leftovers, Bella, Chloe said calmly, and honestly, I think I enjoyed his company in 5 hours than you have in 5 years. Bella's face went purple with rage. She raised her hand to slap Chloe, but I caught her wrist in midair. The shock on Bella's face was satisfying, but what Chloe did next, that was the moment I knew there was no going back. Guys, if you're cheering for Chloe, drop a like right now. Keep watching. It gets intense.
I held Bella's wrist firmly. It was the first time I had ever physically stopped her from doing what she wanted. Don't, I said, my voice low and dangerous. Don't you dare touch her. Bella tried to yank her hand away, her eyes wide with disbelief. Let go of me. Are you defending her? In my house? It's our house, Bella, I corrected her, releasing her hand with a shove. And tonight, you made your choice. You chose to stay in bed. You chose to mock me. Don't be angry that we chose to be happy. Bella looked between us, her chest heaving. Get out, she hissed at Chloe. Pack your bags. You're leaving in the morning. No, she isn't, I said. Her flat isn't ready. She stays as long as she needs. Bella let out a shriek of frustration and stormed back upstairs, slamming the bedroom door so hard the pictures on the wall rattled. The silence returned to the hallway. I looked at Chloe. She looked shaken but relieved. I'm sorry, I said. I shouldn't have let it get this far. No, Chloe shook her head, a small smile returning. I'm glad you did. She's bullied us both for too long. For the next few days, the house was a war zone. Bella gave us the silent treatment, stomping around and making loud phone calls to her friends about how pathetic her husband and sister were. But something had shifted. I stopped trying to appease her. I stopped making her coffee in the morning. Instead, I made 2 cups, one for me and one for Chloe. I stood up from the kitchen stool. Chloe looked at me, fear in her eyes. Stay here, I whispered. I walked into the hallway. Bella was there, leaning against the wall, giggling as a man. Tall, slicked back hair, expensive suit kissed her neck. Bella, I said. My voice was calm, too calm. Bella jumped, pushing the man away. Arthur, I thought you were in bed. Clearly, I said, looking at the man. I recognized him. It was her boss, Julian. Room 402 wasn't enough, Julian? You had to bring her to my house? Julian straightened his tie, looking embarrassed but arrogant. Look, mate, she told me you two were practically separated, said you were sleeping with her sister. I laughed, a dry, humorless sound. Is that what she told you? That's interesting. I turned to Bella. She looked messy, her lipstick smeared, her eyes glassy. You brought him here, to our home, while your sister is sleeping upstairs? Oh, stop being so dramatic, Bella slurred, waving a hand. You and Chloe are practically married anyway. I needed some fun. You're so boring, Arthur. Julian is exciting. Get out, I said to Julian. Now hang on, Julian started. I said get out. I stepped forward, fists clenched. Before I call the police and tell your wife where you are. Yes, I know who she is. Julian paled. He grabbed his coat and practically ran out the door without looking back at Bella. Bella slid down the wall to the floor, starting to cry. You ruined it! You ruined everything! I ruined it? I asked, kneeling to her level. Bella, you destroyed this marriage years ago. You just forgot to tell me. Chloe appeared at the top of the stairs, watching silently. Bella saw her and sneered through her tears.
"Are you happy now?" Bella screamed at Chloe. "You stole him. You always wanted what was mine." "I didn't steal him, Bella. You threw him away. You told me to try me. Remember?" Bella stood up, staggering. "Get out, both of you. Get out of my house." "Actually," I said, standing up and straightening my shirt, "no. The house is in my name, Bella. I bought it before we met. You get out." Bella froze. You can't kick me out." "Watch me," I said. "Go sleep at a hotel or find Julian. I don't care, but you're not staying here tonight." She screamed. She threw a vase. She cursed us both to hell. But eventually she grabbed her bag and stormed out into the night, slamming the door for the final time. The silence that followed was heavy. I turned to Chloe. We were alone in the house. The energy shifted from anger to something softer, sadder, but infinitely more hopeful. "Are you okay?" Chloe asked. "No," I said, honestly. "But I will be."
The next 3 months were a blur of solicitors, court dates, and accusations. Bella played the victim perfectly. She told everyone, our friends, her family, the court, that I had an affair with her sister and threw her out on the street. She painted me as a monster and Chloe as a homewrecker. But Bella made one critical mistake. She underestimated how much I had been paying attention. In the final mediation hearing, we sat across a long mahogany table. Bella looked smug, flanked by a shark of a lawyer. She was demanding the house, half my pension, and exorbitant alimony. "Arthur has been emotionally abusive and unfaithful," her lawyer stated. "My client is entitled to full compensation for the trauma she has endured." My lawyer, a calm woman named Sarah, simply slid a USB drive across the table. "What is this?" Bella asked, frowning. "That," I said, speaking for the first time, "is the footage from the hallway security camera, the one I installed last month after the break-ins in the neighborhood. You forgot about it, didn't you?" Bella's face went white. "It has audio and video. It shows you coming home drunk with Julian. It records you admitting to the affair. It records you saying you needed fun because I was boring. And it records you throwing things and attacking me before leaving voluntarily." I leaned forward. "And the bank transfers you made? Fraud. My forensic accountant has already traced the money to a secret account you opened in Julian's name. That's theft, Bella." Bella looked at her lawyer, panic rising in her chest. Her lawyer closed his file. "You didn't tell me there was video evidence," the lawyer whispered furiously to Bella. I didn't know," Bella stammered. "It's over, Bella," I said quietly. "Sign the papers, you get nothing. No house, no alimony. Just the money you stole, which you will return by the end of the week, or I press charges." Bella signed. Her hand was shaking so hard she could barely hold the pen. She didn't look at me. She just signed away her greed and stormed out, defeated. 6 months later, the Surrey house was sold. Too many bad memories. I bought a smaller place, a cottage near the coast in Cornwall, somewhere quiet, somewhere fresh. I was in the garden, planting new roses, not the cheap ones Bella mocked, but real English roses. The back door opened, and Chloe walked out carrying 2 mugs of tea. We weren't rushing things. After the divorce, we took it slow, but she stayed. Through the court dates, through the accusations, through the mess, she stayed. "Tea?" she asked, smiling that warm, genuine smile that still made my heart skip a beat. "Please," I said, taking the mug. She sat on the bench beside me, leaning her head on my shoulder. "You know," she said softly, "Bella called me yesterday." "Oh," I asked, not feeling the usual spike of anxiety. "She wanted to know if you were happy," Chloe said. "She's living in a small flat in Luton. Julian left her when the scandal broke at their work. She sounded lonely." "And what did you tell her?" I asked, wrapping my arm around Chloe. Chloe looked up at me, her eyes bright with the future we were building. She told her the truth, Chloe said. I told her that she was right about one thing. Trying her sister was the best decision you ever made. We laughed, sipping our tea as the sun set over the ocean. Bella had meant to break me with her mockery. Instead, she had handed me the love of my life. Moral of the story: be careful who you mock and who you take for granted. Arrogance can blind you to the value of what you hold, and sometimes the very person you try to humiliate is the one who will find happiness in your absence. Loyalty and kindness will always win over manipulation and greed. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and share. Support us so we can bring you more stories like this.